Hi, my name is Mashika Amina. I am a life coach, sound healer, yoga instructor, and author. I previously wrote a book called What Life is Teaching Me Lessons You Find When You Slow Down. And that brings me to today's lesson to keep showing up. If you have missed the previous three lessons, I would like you to go to my channel, look at them, comment, like, let me know what you think. Tell me what lessons you are currently learning. And for today's lesson again, today's lesson is to keep showing up. Showing up is just simply consistency. A lot of times when it comes to our goals, we feel like showing up should look the same every day, and it absolutely does not. Our energy doesn't even look the same every day. There are days where we have more energy than others, and there are days where we simply like, I just simply cannot, right? So when it comes to our goals, I feel like the quickest way, not even the quickest, but the way you're going to get there is by showing up, by being present. And you showing up may look very small or may look very big, just depending on the energy of that day. So if your goal is to go to the gym, to show up for some people may look like start picking out your clothes at night. For some other people, showing up is actually getting to the gym. For others, showing up is you're like, you know what? I'm gonna lift these weights for 6 reps. While for someone else, showing up may look like I'm gonna lift these weights for 10 sets. Like it's all different. It just all depends on the person and their goals. When it comes to your goals, you just have to keep showing up. You just have to be consistent. And that's honestly the difficult part is being consistent. A lot of our goals are not difficult. It's the practice and the time and the continuum of doing them that makes it a little bit difficult. A lot of times we give up. We're like, oh, I don't feel like it. I don't want to. I shouldn't. And it's like, if you truly in your heart desire this goal, desire this vision that you have for yourself, you have to show up. And you showing up may not necessarily look the same as each time. So, for example, today, this afternoon, for me recording, I do not have the time to record this video. So, I decided while I'm at work, I'm going to take some time and the effort to record. And this is me showing up. I could make the excuse and say, not today. But I realized for me, Mondays are my recording day, and me showing up may not necessarily look the same as last week. Today, me showing up is recording during my lunch period so that I can be consistent in getting the video out. Me being very rigid, which sometimes we could be very all or nothing, will be like, no, I want to record at the same location, same spot. It has to look a certain way. And, or I could just make the excuse and say, oh, not today because I don't have time this evening because I have to do X, Y, and Z. However, today I say, you know what? Me showing up could be like, the video doesn't have to look perfect, it doesn't have to be in the same location. However, you are today, it's just you showing up. Like, what does your presence for this video look like? And most times we try to be perfect. We try to create all these sorts of excuses when really our effort is what makes the most difference. And sometimes our effort could be small, it could be big, it really depends. But when it comes to our goals, and us getting there and us finishing towards the complete, it's going to require effort, and effort will look different. So if you're someone who's writing a book, your effort may look different. Sometimes you may have a more pages to write or maybe not as many, but effort counts. And I think sometimes we think of effort not counting because sometimes that effort could be so small, but you don't realize that small little effort push you further than you were yesterday. That's really all it is doing. Your consistency is putting you further than you was yesterday, and you're currently here. And so that's why in our previous lesson, lesson number 3, which was start small, is because sometimes we have this big idea and we get overwhelmed and we get stressed out. But if we start small, and not only we starting small, but we're having continuous effort, you'll get to your goals easily, easily without so much pressure, without so much stress. You will get there. And that is today's lesson, to keep showing up. Put forth the effort, big or small. If you don't have as much energy as you did yesterday, that's okay. Honor it. But ask yourself, how can you show up today for that goal? What's one thing you can do? And just do that and be okay with that one thing. And trust that either tomorrow or sometime this week, whatever time frame you have going on, you will get there. And you have to trust that, and just put it in those daily deposits of effort will increase your confidence. It will be like, no, I'm actually working towards this. I'm actually actively doing the things I say I want to do. It may not look like extreme, but I'm getting there. You know what I mean? Because you know what they say, like slow and steady always wins the race. And it makes sense because if you're steadily putting effort, and regardless of what your effort looks like to whomever, as long as you know you're putting forth the effort, trust you will reach your goals in due time. And so that is today's lesson, to keep showing up. I hope you received this message. I hope you are able to embody this lesson of showing up, whether it's whatever goal you may have. May you keep showing up for it because you deserve that goal. You deserve to experience it in its full totality. And again, I hope you receive that. Again, my name is Mashika Amina. Let me know what you thought about today's lesson. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, share with a friend, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.